Hello folks, in this video we're going to be working on this lawnmower here. This is a Husqvarna lawnmower powered by a Honda engine, and I've never worked on a Honda engine, so we'll have to see. I picked this up for free, actually. I got it for free. Don't mind the noise, that's Anthony on his little quad. Dude, you're so fun. Alright, so it's pretty disgusting. The engine, the reason they said it didn't run is because it does run, they said, but it only runs for like a minute and then it stops. Or a few seconds even, just a few seconds and it stops. So we're probably having some fueling issues. And it's covered in oil and grease. So I'm wondering if it's got a bad leak somewhere. They said that they had someone that had tore into it some to try to fix it and they couldn't figure it out. So I don't know. I'm going to clean it up just a little bit and get some of the cobwebs off of it first. Should have blown it off outside, that would have been a better idea. Alright, so let's start off by checking what's in the tank. And that's nothing, so that's actually good. I don't know how long it was sitting, but that could be helpful. The fuel shutoff is off, as you can see, at least I think that's off. Yeah, check that oil. Ooh, it's very clean, very clean. And it's very overfilled? Or maybe it's just from me moving it. Hang on, let me get a paper towel here. Oh yeah, it's way over full. It's all the way up here, and that's where it's supposed to be, is on the Xing, I'm sure. And it's the oil goes clear up to like there. So yeah, that happens. Sometimes people think that the solution of all problems is by adding more oil to the engine, and that's not the case. Put it up to the full line and not more. Is there no air filter? Because usually, yep, of course, they took the air filter. Why is this always the case? Dude, always, every single time the air filter's gone. But it's a Honda, so it should be very easy to find an air filter for it. Hopefully, an aftermarket one or something. So yeah, I guess let's put fuel in it and just see if it runs at all. Because they said it'd run for a little bit and then stop. So we'll turn on the fuel and then we'll dump some ethanol free in there, see what it does. I'm sure I'm going to be tearing down that carburetor though, so I'm not going to put much in. Give that a minute to get worked into the carburetor. Alright, let's see if she'll crank up. Does it have a choke or something, or is it an auto choke? Alright, well, we'll give it a shot of starting fluid. See if she'll run for a little bit. Well, there it is. We definitely are having a fueling issue. Alrighty then. Well, we have our work cut out for us. So let's get to it. So these don't have studs, unfortunately. They have actual bolts that go all the way through the air filter base and the carburetor, which makes it a bit of a pain because you have to get everything lined up perfectly when you put it back together. That's the one thing I definitely don't like about Honda engines. But I don't know much about them anyways. Okay, there's a spacer, there's a gasket, there's the carb. Why did they pick bolts? Why, Honda? Look at all this mess that I took out of... Okay, well there's the air filter base, and there's gaskets everywhere, and gas going everywhere. Okay, there's all our gaskets and spacers. So there's definitely some kind of mechanism here, and it is in fact some kind of choke mechanism. Oh, just shoved my finger right into that grime and got all under my fingernail. Well, there's definitely fuel getting to the carburetor. Uh-oh. That's not good. Look at the color of that. What does that mean about the carburetor? Bolts coming out. Oh, oh, there's rust and junk in there. Well, that's your problem right there. That stuff's not supposed to be in the carburetor, obviously. There's definitely some carnage in here, so we'll give it some little carb clean and then go at it with a wire brush. So steel wool is good for cleaning out bowls. But it will take some time and patience. We'll get some WD-40 in here. That'll help break down the rust and scale. Alright, well that is way better than it was. There's still a little bit of stuff there, but none of it's loose. So I don't think it's going to cause any problems for now, even though it doesn't look super pretty. So I got our bowl gasket, and the nut here definitely has some of that corrosion on it. Oh, that's how I'm destroying my nails. Alright. Float looks good. The needle also looks good, and the seat. You definitely wouldn't be able to see this very good, but it looks pretty good. But you can definitely see the corrosion around there and some down in there. But that stuff's all loose, so it shouldn't be a problem to get out and clean out. This thing's just disgusting. So I'll put this paper towel with all these parts on it away. Alright, we're taking the jet out here. See if it's clogged. I'm assuming it is. Nope, this screwdriver is too big. Oh, that's really tight. Why is that so tight? I don't want to destroy it. Strip it out in here. Oh, it's so tight. It's destroying it. Well, that's not good. Some PB blaster in there. That might help. But that's really weird that that's so tight in there. Alright, well, we'll let that stuff sit, and hopefully that jet will come out. And I guess we'll take off this blower cover here and maybe do some cleaning. all in all, it looks pretty good under here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Feels like it's got pretty good compression, but of course the compression release is kicking in, so doesn't tell you too much. We'll check the spark plug while we're at it. That was a satisfying sound. Oh, that was super loose. Oh, dude. That looks super good. I think it looks like brand new. There's like no carbon buildup on it. It doesn't like white it out like it's running lean. Maybe they must have just replaced the spark plug. That makes sense because they said it wasn't running good, and so they probably, oh, let's replace the spark plug. That'll fix it. But nope, it's a fueling issue. But hey, it's got a brand new spark plug in it, so that's good. One less thing I have to worry about. Actually tighten it this time. They don't need to be crazy tight, but you know, it shouldn't be finger tight. I mean, you got combustion pressure going on in there. All right, well, let's move our attention back to this carburetor here and see if we can't get that jet out. If not, it has to stay in because I'm not going to completely destroy it. I'm rounding it. It's not good. Wait, I think I got it. Maybe I just broke something. Nope, I guess. Yeah, it's coming out, but it's definitely a little messed up. Because it's just brass, you know, it's soft. It's gonna, if you put a ton of torque through it, it's just gonna bend. And now it's kind of binding up on the threads. But I can clean it up a little on the grinder, maybe. So it'll go in easier. It must have just rusted in there or something, got galded in. There's that jet. Whoa. There's that jet. You can see the damage that I had to do to get it out. I don't know why it was so hard in there, but let's see if this thing is clear or not. No, it's at least partially obscured, but that's okay. It'll be a job for the torch tip cleaner. Okay, one that's smaller than that. Oh yeah, we definitely cleared that thing out. And see if the next size up will go in there. No, I think the jet's just too small to fit it. I don't think it's like clogged still. Looks like that's the biggest size she's gonna pass. But that's much better. You can actually see through there now. Give it a little carb clean here. And now before I put it in, I am gonna clean up these edges that are catching in the threads that I destroyed. I put it in the bench vise and just kind of smushed in the edges a little bit. I think I may have got the threads a little bit there again. Dang it. It's brass though, it's soft. It'll fix itself as I thread it in, I think. Oh, there's our emulsion tube. That's important. Because if this thing's clogged as well, it's not going to run right. Alright, jet and emulsion tube are nice and cleaned out. So now we can just blast all the ports out in here with carb clean. Make sure they're all good and clear. Ah, right on the hand. That can't be healthy. Okay. Oh, yeah. Hand's gonna be real dried out. Alright, I think we're ready to put it back together now. I think that turned out really good. Honestly, the carb was not bad at all. The jet, other than the jet catastrophe, trying to get that thing out of there, I think it went pretty good. Which way did this go in? I didn't pay attention, of course. Yeah, it goes in that way. Alright, so now I did not over tighten that jet in there, because maybe that's why it was so hard to take out. I was just way over tightened, I don't know. But it is now fixed. Carburetor is rebuilt. Nice. Alright, well, let's pop this thing back on and see if she runs good. Okay, finally. Got that thing back on. Alright, I'm gonna put the cover back on here. Alright, we'll turn on the fuel here. Let that start going into the carburetor. Alright, let's see if this thing's gonna run. Oh, that makes me so happy. I just need a good carb clean out. Dude, that's like literally 90% of the lawnmowers that come in here, that's all they need. And of course it needs to be cleaned up, and I need to get an air filter for it. But this thing's, I mean, it's a great candidate for selling. I got it for free, and it runs great. Only took WD-40 carb cleaner, PB blaster, some cleaning tools. Not too bad, not too bad. I'll also check the valve lash, but that thing started up so good. First pull, man. First pull. The self-propel seemed to be working too, but I'll take a look at that anyways. All right, so I was gonna dump out just a little bit of the oil to get to the right level before I cleaned it, and it is a little dark. And I figured, you know what? It's good practice just to change the oil whenever you get something before you sell it or whatever. So I'm just gonna change the oil on this, just fully change it. I have not worked on one of these. I don't see a drain plug, so I'm just going to dump it out the fill tube. That's, I think, the only other way to do it. Oh, yeah. The blade looks pretty good. It's on the right way, so that's good. It's pretty dull, but that's okay. I can sharpen it, no problem. Oh yeah. So now I just gotta remember not to run it. Not to run it until I put oil in it. So, because I tend to forget things. So just pull the plug wire. I think we'll be burning this in the diesel engine because it's still pretty good. I'll maybe run it through a coffee filter first, but because I don't want to put this back in an engine, but it could be useful fuel potentially. All right, well now we're going to take it and wash it with some degreaser because it is just disgusting, covered in oil and junk. Okay, so we're going to clean the engine now and the mower in general with some degreaser. So that's tight. Alright, well, it's dried off now, and it's definitely not perfect, but this is not the final cleaning, but it's so much better than it was. And so now we're going to put more oil in it, or we're going to fill it back up. And I think I might know why I was leaking oil so much, at least maybe on this side, because this thing was slightly loose, where this, not the dipstick, but where the actual filler goes in, it was a little bit loose. So I tightened it up a little bit more, and so now hopefully it won't leak from that spot, at least. So I'll put some 1030 in here. So this is a 161 cubic inch. Or sorry, I mean cc. Alright, well we're already full. I didn't even put much oil in it, but we're already in the good level. Unless this thing has an oil pump. But maybe I'll check it later just to be sure. Alright, we'll see if it'll warm start. I didn't run it for very long, but it's probably pretty warm by now. Choke wouldn't turn off. Maybe then it's turned off now. Yeah, the choke's definitely off now. So I don't know, that's kind of weird. The choke just went on and wouldn't come off. And it was just running super rich. Yeah, well, tomorrow we're gonna grease the wheels and then fix. The only major issue I could find with this thing is that, you can see that it's definitely missing a bolt down there, right there at the bottom. This one's loose, and there might be one missing in the back, I don't know. So we'll have to figure that out, because this side is super loose. It's also, this thing's loose. But that's should be not too hard of a fix. The engine seems to run really good. So yeah, I'm very pleased with this. Alright, so it's the next day, and we're going to keep working on this thing. So the next thing on the list of things to do, I think, is to take off the wheels and re-grease them, but also to fix this issue where that thing's just super, super loose on there. Oh, these have bearings. Oh, it's kind of a bearing plus a plastic. It's weird. It's weird is what it is. It's a bearing right here that's very chunky, and then it's just a plastic sleeve on this side. So, yeah. I don't know what to make of that. I'll put some grease in here anyhow, for the plastic part at least. Same thing this side. There's a bunch of string wrapped around the wheel on that other side. I got most of it off, but there's a little bit left here. Alright, that's what I thought. So there's a bolt here and a bolt there, and that's what holds this piece on, which goes to your handle and your wheels and everything. On this side, there's a bolt there and there's no bolt there. So that's our problem, and also this one's just loose. So I'm going to take the bolt out of that side and then see if I have one that matches it. Or maybe the one from the top will be the same, I don't know. See if I can find a match, basically. Yeah, it's dumping everywhere. It's always good not to turn an engine on the intake side, and that's why, because you'll leak out fuel or even oil. Well, I'll let you know when I can get something figured out with that bolt. Alright, so I managed to find actually the same exact bolt. It was just much too long, so I cut it down and everything. And there were some other bolts that were loose as well. There's another one that holds this bracket on in the back side. So I just tightened everything up, and now it's super solid. I mean, it's so much better. The problem is definitely fixed. And so now I think we can turn our attention to these wheels. And there's not really a problem with them. Just need some greasing, I think, so moisture doesn't get in there. Alright, well, I took out the bearing. I don't think there's a way to add grease to these, unfortunately. You can't take off the covers. I'll just do the next best thing, which is to drip some oil in there. And it does feel definitely a little bit smoother now that I put that oil in there. Alright, now we'll take a look at the drive wheels here, see what they look like. I imagine not too bad, because they worked, the drive system worked fine. I'm glad to see that the gear teeth are intact. Alright, these ones do not have bearings. They have a metal sleeve though, so that could definitely rust together if there's no grease on there. Alright, now that we've done that, the next thing I want to do is check on this drive mechanism under here. A lot of thread on that. Okay. So definitely could use some washing in here, but other than that, yeah, the belt looks good. So I'm guessing that when you pull one of these things, yeah, that's all it does is tension that. I'll leave this off for now because I'm going to clean under there. I don't know if that's a factory edge or not. It's hard to check balance when your center thing looks like this. There's certain tools you can get for balancing blades, and I ought to get one of those. It's like a little cone that you set it on, and it'll show you if it's balanced or not. Because, you know, it being balanced is an important part of having a mower that is fun to use because it doesn't vibrate your hands to death. Oh, there's a baby. Yeah, she knows right where to go, over the bench grinder. I'm going to try not to remove too much material. So yeah, it's not perfect, but it's miles better than it was. There's still some gouges in it, but it'll definitely cut grass. There's no doubt about that. This side's a little bit better because it didn't have many dings on it. But yeah, hopefully this should work good. I've had lawnmower blades come off before, so it's okay to put these things pretty dang tight. Oh yeah, it's just feeling so much more solid when I moved around. Alright, well I think I'm going to clean up that mess under here, clean that up, and then I might check the valve lash as well. I checked the valve lash off camera, and it was a little bit out of spec, but not bad enough to cause any running issues. But now it should be pretty much perfect. It's kind of cold and windy out here, but we're going to mow the lawn. And I don't really show mowing the lawn too much, but I figured it's a nice, good test for this thing, make sure everything's working correctly. I think this mower is definitely adjusted a little higher than the mower I usually use, so it didn't cut off very much, but that's okay. It works good. It cuts the grass just fine. Alright, well, that'll be it for this video. I'm definitely going to order a proper air filter for it. And while I was cutting in the lawn, I did have a piece of foam in the air filter box, so it wasn't completely running without an air filter. But anyways, I think that'll be it for this video. I hopefully can sell this thing in the future, and maybe I'll mention it in one of my videos if I do manage to sell it. But anyways, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.
Oh, good enough.
She loves going into bags. I don't know why, but she has always loved going into bags, whether it be grocery bags or apparently lawnmower bags.